Hey guys, so quick wee announcement before we jump into today's video. We have a 30% sale on. This is the last day of the sale. You've only got a few hours if you want to make the most of that. Still got a load of models. We've got a good few copies of the gas station, and also once the gas station is sold, it is sold. We will never be doing another print run of that book. So if you're looking a copy or you're thinking about getting a copy, I mean, it's 30% off. So that's up to you. Either way, let's jump into today's video, will we?
What are cool old technologies that went nowhere, but could be neat in alt history or alt dimension scenario? Pneumatic tubes, airships, that sort of thing. Eugenics?
I mean, okay, well, let's use some examples from history with eugenics, I suppose. So the first one I can think of, the oldest anyway, would be Spartans. Mm-hmm. You know, throw in any baby that's like any form of deformities, any form of like birthmark, whatever, threw them off the Tarpeian Rock. No.
Oh, so he would be off?
Yeah, he would have been
off.
Because of
his birthmark?
Yeah, because he's got a birthmark on his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a shame because he's massive.
He's huge.
He's actually is gigantic, so he is. I don't know how to explain it.
He got mistaken for a 4-year-old today and he's not even 2.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah. He's so tall.
He is. He's really tall. But, Tarpeian Rock, that was Roman, so it was. But anyway, there was something from a cliff that they would throw them off of. And then I suppose the most recent one that you can kind of...
Kick them.
The most recent one was something to do about World War II, was it?
I don't think I heard that one.
I don't know if we want to talk about that one.
I don't know what you're on about.
No, I don't know. I don't know anything about any of that sort of stuff. No. But you know what? Actually, going into the future, I believe eugenics will be a big thing because think of it like this.
Look at designer babies now.
Yeah.
Look, people can literally buy what child they want. Well,
exactly.
Well,
I mean, there's some people
there's
some people alive today that might
looking at you, wafer. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to make a wafer joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stole it. You stole the joke. But no, going forward, I definitely do think we will see a big divide between natural children and designer children.
Yeah.
Definitely going forward. And the thing is, see if you had the money, would you not want your child to have
the best attributes?
And again, me and Megan were talking about this. Megan said, well, it wouldn't really be your child then. It's like, well, what happens if it just takes everything that's within you and lamps it up?
But what if it's not within you?
Well, that's the thing. Some people just
That's the thing. Like, it's not going to be your child if it's it's not going to be your biological child. I wouldn't see that as my biological child if you're able to swap and change it that
way. Would it be that they're taking genetics from other people, or are they...
It would have to be from other people.
Are they altering... Well, they're altering the genetics within yourself. Does that make sense? Like what? See, this is where it gets really complicated.
This is where that would be like us wanting a child with brown eyes. I'm green, I'm super bright green and you're super bright blue. There's no way.
I don't think there's anyone.
There's no way that we'd be able to... There's nobody in my family with brown eyes.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone in my family either that has brown eyes.
Or eyebrows. Look, if you're trying to get a child with eyebrows, like...
Yeah, that's
it just doesn't happen.
There's people... No, here, your dad. Your dad's got a thick set of eyes on him.
Yeah, he does. He has to trim them.
So, you know,
he can plait his eyebrows if he had to. There is, actually.
There is genetics within you.
But yet I got my mother's.
You know, so there you go. But I do believe eugenics will play a key part, and I do think you could play about with it, even with the idea of like super soldiers or super scientists, or even then, would eugenics even work for making scientists? Because would you not just move, by the time you get to that point, would you not just be using like AI
supercomputers and stuff to be able to do that?
Or would it be, would you combine machine and human together at that point?
Oh, I know, I think GPs are going to be like AI. It's going to be like a multiple choice. Like, you're going to have to do like a like a questionnaire beforehand, like on it, and then next minute you get a phone call. It's like, you have AIDS.
Yeah, I can see that.
Please refer to your emergency room, your emergency hospital room.
Yeah, I can see that. For me, I think, you know what technology I would love to see to make a genuine comeback? Airships like Zeppelins and stuff, but turn them into like cruise ships.
Oh yeah.
I would so go for a Zeppelin.
Can you not die on a Zeppelin?
What?
Can you not like die on a Zeppelin because of the helium inside?
No, you're alright. It's actually pretty
is
safe.
That just like something I got from cartoons? If you step in the Zeppelin, like your voice goes really high.
No, they don't use. It's not helium. But some of them.
How does it blow up?
It's thingy. So
It's not like a big balloon.
Yeah, it is, but they use hydrogen. But I'm pretty sure there was some that used helium. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, honestly. But here, how cool would it be having like an airship?
Do they not have zeppelins?
We did, but
No, do we not have them now? Is there not like zeppelins that like fly over like baseball games and stuff?
yeah, but they're not like.
Zeppelins.
I think they're more like balloons, so they are. Like, they really are just big balloons.
Yeah.
I would love to see them come back though, because they are kind of cool.
Yeah. That's a bit of a hard one because typically they fail because they were fundamentally flawed in some way. New that describes most new inventions. If those flaws can be corrected, then they do end up going somewhere, which happened to most inventions once tech gets developed enough. So examples of cool technologies that initially failed but were revived later include things such as steam engines. The Romans could make simple steam-powered devices but couldn't really make them useful.
I think it was to do with their metallurgy. They couldn't. It's very hard to make pressurized tanks.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Computers' initial attempts were purely mechanical and hand niche applications as tide calculators. Winged flying machines, Leonardo da Vinci. Tanks, Leonardo da Vinci again. And rotary flying machines, Leonardo da Vinci once more. Man, that guy had some fun ideas, but were well beyond that means at that time.
Yeah, it's such a shame. Some of his stuff is so cool, though. It is. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen some of the early tanks where they've got, like... It makes sense, early tanks. Mm-hmm. Some of them where they're designed almost like turtles, and, like, you walk with them. So they're not really, like, engines.
So, like,
really.
an exoskeleton
Kind of. It's more of a way to keep troops protected.
To just, like, hard armor.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
But that's something that I think kind of goes hand in hand with technology as it advances. There's sometimes where the offense is more powerful than the defensive. So, for instance, I believe in this day and age, our offensive capabilities are so beyond anything that's defensive. Essentially, you're just hoping that it doesn't get targeted. For instance, look, let's use a good example. Let's go for World War II. Why were the kamikazes so effective? Essentially, they were guided missiles before we had guided missiles.
Yeah.
Which makes them very, very deadly.
Yeah.
Because they're way ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Now, you are spending valuable pilots.
Yeah.
Especially when a lot of the pilots were more than people and they're very, very good pilots, so why are you wasting these people? However, still having that edge is key. What do you guys think? Will we ever see genuine ship battles ever again with the likes of guided missiles, with the likes of high precision bombers, stuff like that? I don't know.
It's all so easy.
It's so easy to be destroyed.
It's also easy to
knock it out.
to know where you're going, you know,
the targeting systems are so advanced. And again, look what I hate to bring it up, but the hacking endlaws and javelins. Wow. Wow. Yeah. But you guys get what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, the anti-tank weaponry in this day and age is actually very, very good. And therefore, does that make tanks, they're not obsolete by any means, but you have to reinvent how you use them. Does that make, and you see that
you need to evolve them.
Yes, that's a very good way of thinking about it. A good one I like to use, and Garbu likes to bring this one up because he fucking loves horses. Like, no man, centaurs are beast. What are you all about? No, horses can totally be used in battlefields to this day. It's like, no, Garbu, don't be silly. But he does bring up some very good points. So, American Civil War, earliest one, really a good example. They realized very quickly that, cavalry charges, that sort of stuff, we're not going to have a great time because both sides have, like, automatic
rifles.
It's
Gatling
not rifles,
guns,
they've got Gatling guns and stuff. It's not going to work very well for them. So what do you do instead? Well, they're really good at moving people around battlefields very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So therefore, you get really into more of a transport role. Like you get off to then fight. Does that make sense? I think maybe like what technologies do we have today that's kind of went like a pager? A pager's an obsolete bit of technology.
Yeah.
Could it be reinvented in some way to be useful again?
Well, like the iPods.
What do you mean?
They're completely obsolete, but then they put them into the phones.
Oh yeah, they just combined them together. Yeah, I suppose you can see that. I mean? Well, that's more just the phone has overtaken. You want only one device in your pocket.
Before we were all like, I used to walk about with my phone, my MP3, and my iPod because my MP3 only held enough songs, and then my iPod had more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I swapped and changed.
Memory, though, so
but that's like that evolved.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, I don't know if you know this, but we've got a website with lots of models. And whenever I say lots of models, I mean lots of models. We've got models for any setting that you can think of. With humans with biddies, animals that shouldn't have biddies but do have biddies, dwarves and elves with biddies. Look, we've got a lot of smut models. But it doesn't stop there. We really do have models for anything and everything. And to be honest, they look so good. Chef's kiss, so good. But it's not all smut for all you good Christian Minecraft server players. We've got you covered. And we even got the weebs covered too, which is unusual for this channel because we don't like weebs.
Yeah, the weebs aren't that bad, okay? They're just fun to laugh at.
We also have 5th edition subclasses and adventures, which some of them are free for download, and we sell a physical printed copy of Steel Water as well, and you can request a signed version if that's your thing, where I'll draw a penis on it for you.
If you want us to sign a couple of decks, we'll give you decks, okay, guys? That's what you want.
Anyway, if you enjoy what we do here, go ahead and check out the website. It helps us out so much, and we don't need to worry about our YouTube overlord striking down another one of our channels. Our website is also now available as an app on Android. Also, and the winner of the daily giveaway is this guy! Yay! Woo! Woo!
Look, anyway, in for a chance to win, all you gotta do is like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, automatically entered in.
And to claim the prize, you just send an email to neckbeardiacontact@gmail.com. Let's get back to the video. Air guns. See, Giradoni.
You know,
air rifle, for example.
We did a video talking about French, and it had a lot of French words in it, and I said, you know what, I actually kind of like the French, and then this angry French fella said, so, well, if you actually like the French, you would actually know how to speak some of the words. Like, this
I don't
this is why people don't like the French.
Yeah.
You literally proved my point, and I was trying to be nice to you guys for once.
See, Garadoni air rifle, for example. Quiet, could shoot at a much higher rate than a musket, but needed special tools to repair and maintain, so didn't ever see extensive use. A fun spin-off of this is the dynamite cannon. Dynamite, sorry.
Dynamo.
Dynamite cannon. Before we really figure out how to shoot an explosive projectile from a gun without the gun exploding, we use massive pneumatic cannons to shoot dynamite. They were popular in naval ships, apparently.
I wouldn't say that. I think, what he's really getting at is more examples of technology that it needed to be improved in some way.
Yeah.
Before it really took off.
Yeah.
It just needed that
wee bit of... It needed tweaking.
Or maybe there was that wee bit of that...
Different material or whatever.
That jump that maybe technologies that need to be combined. Oh, perfect one. What about robots? Robots aren't that great at the minute. They are getting better. Like, look at Boston Dynamics.
I was just about to say, I don't know. Look at Boston Dynamics.
What if we mix them? What happens when we mix that with AI? And also, to go on top of that, a lot of people...
Have they not? Well, I thought they have.
They are looking at it. They probably already have.
Which is terrifying.
But what about the next step?
They beat them with sticks. And I hope they turn on them first.
What is the next stage of that? Well, what about blockchain technology? Now, I already hear it. You guys are going to leave. But I'm a real believer when it comes to blockchain technology. And honest to God, I think blockchain technology and AI go hand in hand so fucking well. You guys have no idea how much money I'm going to make on Chainlink. You guys have no fucking idea. Like, I'm saying it right now. If you guys are interested, read about what Chainlink does. And you know what? Maybe you can be a crypto millionaire like me.
Someday.
Look, let's just keep going.
Mechanical computers. Clockwork plus. 3 plus? Super plus?
It's like triple A.
That's a tampon.
It's like triple A. Right, okay, keep going.
Stuff like the Difference Engine book for fictional examples, but they were apparently real. Electric computers made them go extinct, but imagine an alternate route where city-sized mechanical computers were used to direct wars or coordinates the telegraph internet.
I can see that. I can understand that. Oh, it would be very Fallout. Does that make sense? Imagine, because that's the whole difference with Fallout. They never invented the transistor, I believe. So everything's like super bulky.
Yeah. On that note, actual telegraphs. I see them used far less than I would like. They're an underappreciated facet of history overshadowed by the radio. Clunkier, more open to being fucked with by PCs or their enemies. What's a telegraph?
Telegraphs were like,
I just think the Belfast Telegraph. What is a telegraph?
telegraph,
Right enough.
to give you a really good example, think of it like an OG text message in print.
So like a fax machine?
Yeah, you could argue similar. It would be similar to a fax, but like 1800s, like 1800s.
Okay.
Does that make any weird sense?
No.
Okay, well anyway.
Oh wait, is that where they like pull like the little teeny pieces of paper?
No, that's
And like movies?
No, that's a thingy machine you're thinking of. That's doot. What do you call it?
No, that's not a No, it's not a Morse code one. I'm thinking of.
Alright, turns out Megan shouting at me saying
It is a Morse code thing.
Alright, okay.
It's a do.
Alright, okay, let's keep going. Still kind of cool and interesting tech, but like, you know, let's be serious, it kind of got overshadowed, to say the least. Maybe because people were more like social back then. The idea was like, I'm not sending no text, I'll just talk to someone on the phone. Like old people. Like you know,
old
it's like,
people?
Can you please just write a text?
Hello.
Absolutely not.
Land ironclads. Early in tank design, there was the idea of making huge tanks and having them be equivalent to sea ships. It's not that obscure of an idea since landships are always cool, but check out stuff like the Char 2C, Pick-related,
it was gigantic.
for an idea of how they may have evolved if people went for the idea. Conversely, tankettes. Me.
Alright.
Really small tanks. Really. There were a ton of weird tank designs that look cool but went nowhere. Just check those out.
Yeah, so the reason why, one of the big reasons why I believe they didn't take off was because you could target them with artillery, because they were that big. So it doesn't really, like, even early artillery you could get hit by. And also the biggest problem is as well, because they are not very reliable, the bigger they are, the harder they are to maintain, more parts to work with. All that sort of stuff. It's just at a practicality cost, you know. Even though it would be so fucking cool to have like actual like landships, like ships, like because that's what their idea was.
But the production cost alone.
Well, that was what like Churchill ordered the Admiralty and all that. Of course, it was his idea. You alright?
My ankle.
But you know, it makes sense that someone in the Navy would be like, why don't we not just like put them on land instead? It makes sense. I kind of get it.
Soviet Ekrano plans
I have no idea.
use some funky physics tricks to gain more lift by bending over water. They look really weird and cool. They end up not delivering, and people said the idea was dead, but now the US wants to make one. So we'll see about that.
Oh, I'm googling it here.
Could have just been that
like,
Soviets were shit at making them.
Oh, they're
What
like,
is it?
Google it. They're like,
Let me look it up.
they're like 747s, but they can go on water. So they're like, you know them like wee dinky planes, like go on.
Oh
water?
yeah, like the water planes or whatever they're called.
Yeah. You know, like you see them in like the Bahamas and like the Caribbean all the time, or
Oh,
like the
yeah.
Philippines. It's that, but it goes on. Honestly, I could see them making a comeback.
Do they fly or do they just glide on the water then?
They do fly.
Are they just low flying?
They are low flying. They don't go like super high.
So they're under the radar then?
Apparently some of them can be.
Under the radar.
Under the radar. No one's ever going to get that joke. I think they're cool. I would love to see that. Like, honestly, see when it comes... Okay, what I would love to see make a comeback is super soldiers in, like, power armor. I just want power armor. I want, like, knights back again. Like, the idea of the truly heavy infantry. But I just don't think that we're going to ever see that in our lifetime. I just think even small arms fire is enough to, like... I don't think we've got the armor capable. But I do love the idea of, like, a modern day knight coming back.
Because most ammo is just, well, battle ammo. It's just, they're too powerful.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just not going to work.
No.
Actually, you know what? That might be a good one for me and Garblo to talk about.
Yeah, talk about that with Garbro.
Megan doesn't like it whenever I talk about my Spurgy.
No.
I'm going to have to go really into detail about these things.
Yeah.
Right, okay, keep going.
Less tech and more an aesthetic choice, but slapping old armour onto modern soldiers, you just literally just said this, onto modern soldiers is always cool looking. Stormtroopers and
RDT
did it for real. And you had stuff like the prototype Booster armor as well.
What's a Booster? I've never heard of this one. Hold on, let me Google it. Let's see. Oh yeah, that stuff so fucking stupid looking. Look at it, Megan. It's fucking ridiculous.
What is that? Why is he in a bin?
I don't know. Or, you know, the thing is, again, they kind of wanted to make it cheap. So this is the thing. They really wanted to make it as cheap as humanly possible.
Honestly, it looks pretty effective though.
It probably did work to a certain extent. But the problem was, it's so bulky, and because...
When did they use this?
It's like World War I stuff. So
okay.
Like, they were really desperate. They were reaching for ideas. They were really reaching. Apparently, every soldier that's ever worn, like, armour in World War I all say it was dog shit, and it didn't work.
No. It's probably made of aluminium or something.
It was too heavy, it was clunky, it made a ton of noise.
Yeah.
And, like, you're too busy trying to fucking run.
Yeah, and, like, it looks too big to where... How you even meant to, like, hold your rifle?
How you even...
Round that? Do you know what I mean?
You just hope you don't. What happens if someone just starts battering? And see, this is the other
people
thing.
sneak up from you from behind. There's nothing behind you.
This is the other big thing. World War One, I think a lot of people forget. It's actually, I would argue, World War One. Yeah, okay, firearms massive. A lot of the fighting's hand to hand, though.
A lot of it, yeah.
Once they actually get into the enemy trenches,
yeah,
they don't really use. Their rifles are far too big.
They're far too unwieldy within the small confines of a trench or like a bunker. It's just
they did
most grenades and stuff.
A lot of grenades, a lot of hammers, a lot of knives, bayonets,
spoons, forks,
fucking anything. Yeah, it's
wooden legs.
It's kind of spooky how weird it devolves back into that. Like, even though it's such a modern war, like,
it turns just to teeth and claws.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. If you're, you know what? No, I'll save that for another time.
If you want something cool for the pre-industrial age, consider Aztec botany. They developed a system arguably more complex than Linnaeus centuries before Europeans. Sadly, a lot of it was during the early colonization era. The broad knowledge of plants attained by the ancient Mexicans is well known. Yet, this branch of indigenous science has not received the attention it deserves. Few systematic treatments of...
guys, don't expect us.
Something botany have been undertaken.
No, I can't. No, it's something like that.
Whatever, language and culture were dominant in Mesoamerica for centuries. And books using a pictorial writing system were widespread at the time of the conquest. A small number of the surviving pictorial manuscripts provide important yet incomplete studied information regarding Aztec plant knowledge. The ethnohistoric sources of actual or potential value to the study of botany are reviewed, as are the modern interpretations of the subject. There is evidence suggesting that pre-Hispanic systems of scientific plant classifications based on pictorial representations of the plants and plant groups, the reconstruction of Nathot plants classification through ethnohistoric and ethnographic research would facilitate identification of many plants whose uses are now forgotten. See, I think that's a lot. I think there's so much stuff that we've forgotten. How do people like even live past like 12?
I believe that. Okay, so there's a lot
of shit in plants.
There's a lot of evidence to suggest that early humans and Neanderthals knew the effects of antibiotics, or they understood, like, not penicillin that we would know today, but they understood it.
Like healing properties of it?
Yeah, they understood the healing properties
from,
of
with, like, infection and stuff?
Yeah, there is a lot to suggest that they actually did understand that. And I think it's almost to the point of they would have to have understood that to a certain extent. And also it makes complete sense to me for the Native Americans to have been really good at this, because where do we get most of our modern medicine?
Yeah.
The Amazon.
Yeah.
So therefore, who are the best human beings you possibly have went to for these sort of what's South America known for today? Plants, refined plants, cocoa plants. But you know what I mean? Like,
I get it. But there's a lot to say about all natural remedies. There's a lot to say about it.
I don't want to turn into like that tea leaf, or like, you know, like.
But it's true.
I think it is most definitely true. I think it most definitely is true. I think there's a lot of information that has lost.
You want to get rid of your cold? Drink a hot whiskey.
Does work.
Drink a hot whiskey with cloves in it.
Yeah.
Your cold will go away.
a lot of old wives' tales, some of them are absolutely ridiculous, but there's a lot of them that do actually work 100%. Like, for instance,
you have a cold, put onions in your socks. It oxidizes and draws it from your skin. Draws it from your skin.
I've heard a few people swear by that, but I've never tried
Or
it.
hang a potato above your head. A cut potato.
I mean,
or cut onion.
Do you want to be
something like that?
Do you guys
Cut
want
it
to
above your
Onion
bed.
Man?
Something like that.
Do you want to become Onion Man? You can move the soy.
You are Onion Man.
Eat at least 2 onions a day.
No.
You know?
No.
Eat them all like fucking apple, man.
No.
He wasn't that did that.
You?
No, yeah, I did do that, but I fucking gagged.
Yeah.
It was brutal, so it was. But yeah, look, I think that's where we're gonna wrap up for today. A lot of this stuff I think is really interesting, and like, you know, maybe it's more my love of like, I love not old history, but I love what humans have created. This is one of the things that kind of annoys me a wee bit. Some of the stuff that annoys me is one of the big conspiracy theories is like ancient aliens and stuff, because I think that takes away what humans are capable of whenever they actually set their mind to certain subjects. Does that make sense? Like, you know, I think whenever people go in and they look at the pyramids, they're like, there's no way humans could have pulled this off. It's like, I don't know, humans are pretty remarkable. Pretty fucking remarkable.
Put your minds together and you stop fucking fighting for 2 seconds. You could do a lot.
Yeah, I think you can, and I think that's one of the saddest things you see in this modern day and age. You know, the saddest one for me is the concept, or not the concept, but the very, again, not even idea, I don't know how best to describe it, but planned obsolescence. That is just so fucking sad to me. Like the idea of, let's not make things as good as they possibly can. Let's make sure that they break after a couple of years. Let's design something that's just going to completely shit itself.
It annoys me.
Let's make
so
people
much.
have to buy new stuff again and again.
Printers.
And again.
Printers are a fine fucking example of that.
Like, why can we not just live in an age where whenever you buy something,
and
it's
microwaves
good?
are the same,
Oh,
and kettles are the same, and it just everything. Chargers, phone chargers, TVs, everything is the same. Like everything, you know, like, oh, I bought this new thing. It's like £700. It's going to break in like 3 years.
Yeah,
I'm going to have this fork out. It's going to be dear. It's probably going to be about £800 next time round.
I feel like I'm going to get burst into a tirade about capitalism, but like, you know, again, that's one of the worst side effects I think of it is the idea, and again, it comes back to governments and whatnot, is can we not just make housing be beautiful? Why do we have to make, like, see, whenever you're putting money in,
twins of it, like everything looks the same?
Yeah, can we not make something beautiful for a change?
Grey on grey on grey on crushed velvet on grey.
Yeah.
Put a bit of colour in your house, would you?
Yeah. I don't know, it's one of those ones, it's an interesting one to talk about. What do you guys want to see? What technology do you think you could fit into most fantasy settings? You know what ones are really fucking underused? Water wheels. Water wheels are fun.
Water wheels are fun.
I don't know why.
And they're very, like, the good use.
I think they're cool.
You know,
I think, you know what? Why can we
could
not?
you power a house?
Yeah. Why do we not have more houses just all along
On a
waterways? And you know what?
But then there'd be a drought.
No, it wouldn't be a drought because you're not using it. It's the water's just to like push the wheel making a motor. Like, guys, I had this idea a while back, okay? And I thought I was a fucking genius. Like, this is one of the ones where I was like falling asleep. I was falling asleep in bed, and then the idea struck me.
This is what I have to live with. James getting struck with ideas in the middle of the night. I got struck with
the idea, and I thought I was a fucking genius, but actually they're like, everyone knows about the bar me, apparently. Magnet motors. A motor that's generated by using magnets.
Like the opposite end of a magnet.
I typed it in online, and there was some fucking Indian guy on YouTube.
It's always the Indian guys on YouTube who steal it.
Hello friends, this is my
magnet motor.
Magnet motor. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! But I thought I was a fucking genius. Like, can I
just call me Einstein because.
Look, it makes perfect sense. Why, like, again...
Yeah, it does make perfect sense. That's why it's a thing.
We just need to work out how to make magnets stronger, make them lighter, you know, fit them in. I think magnet motors, I think that's the future, man. Just saying. But they're just not there yet.
Probably. You're probably not wrong.
I think a magnet motor, I think, makes complete sense. It just needs to be stronger, faster, slimmer, you know, all that sort of stuff. It's just not there.
I just need to be stronger, faster, slimmer.
Right, okay, I think that's what we're going to wrap up for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any of your own ideas or anything that you would wish to see come back? Or what technology was kind of a dead end that, you know, you think could go somewhere?
Polly Pockets.
Polly Pockets are shit.
How dare you?
They were too small.
No, they were so good. Just because you were a boy. You didn't play with Polly Pocket.
Was it like a boy version of Polly Pocket?
40k?
All those moments will be lost in time.